So I'm going to say a few words about why we chose this topic for the Global Bildung Day. It's not just that Chat GPT came out, and I mean that was sort of the occasion, but the reason for finding the aspects of education and AI important for the Bildung issue is because I actually think that there's a relationship between the Bildung we have and how we're going to handle AI. So one of the ways that I now describe Bildung is to say that it's two different kinds of knowledge. It's the knowledge that is easy to transfer among people or between people, and then the knowledge that is almost impossible or actually impossible to transfer from person to person. And the transferable kind of knowledge is the academic knowledge that schools are generally really good about transferring. It's rather easy. So it's academic knowledge, but it can also be baking a bread, how to bake a bread, or fix a bicycle or something like that. And it's rather easy to test whether people have learned what you try to transfer because you can see if they can do the math or speak the language that you have been teaching them. You can also test if they can bake a bread. So the horizontal transfer of knowledge is relatively easy, and we can also talk about expanding our horizon in all kinds of directions. So horizontal knowledge. The other one has a vertical aspect to it. It's about emotional depth and it's about life experience. And you cannot, I mean, you can tell people about your life experience, but you can't transfer it. So if you fall in love, if you have a child, if you raise a family, if you lose a job, you can tell people about it, but you can't get them to feel how you're feeling because it's really about your emotional depth and how you react to it. But if they have experienced something similar, they will know exactly what you're talking about, or almost what you're talking about. There will be a resonance. And that resonance allows us to connect with other people. And Bildung is the combination of those two kinds of knowledge, life experience, struggle with the knowledge that may be hard to learn, to acquire. And then, of course, the more you know about the world, the more you can see in the world, and the more you can actually struggle with. So, um, Bildung is this combination of these kinds of knowledge and life experience. And AI is probably going to be serving us as a really good tutor for students, a teaching assistant with regards to the transferable kind of knowledge. It may also be, it's a statistical model that can be extremely sophisticated. It may one day be very good at mimicking the words and sentences that you would say if you were in love and if you were trying to convince somebody how wonderful that is or how horrible it is if somebody breaks up with you. But that doesn't mean that this AI has any idea about what it's communicating. Um, and the reason why is because it's not a human being. It does not relate to human beings. It does not have a body. It doesn't have that life energy, life force, whatever you want to call it, that makes us insist on surviving and eating and loving and connecting with other people. So we have all these urges and drives and desires that are part of being a mammal, not just a human, but really a living being. And AI does not have that. It may be able to mimic it, but it won't have it. And even if we create robots that are programmed to survive and strive to not be shut down, it'll still be very, very different. And knowing how skillful they are in the tech industry already with regards to making social media that can manipulate us and keep us scrolling and clicking for hours, even though we don't really want to spend our life like that. We're going to be very easy targets for advanced, complex AIs, particularly if they are embedded in robots or um, screen interfaces with a human face, particularly if it's baby features. So, I mean, we're going to be really easy to manipulate once these AIs get to the next level. One of our previous speakers said that we're the ones who are going to be hacked. So that is one of the aspects of what we can expect. And so, Bildung and AI and education, we need to think how they're supposed, how they should be related in the future. What kind of education What kind of knowledge should we have? Transferable knowledge about AI and ourselves in the world? And what kind of emotional maturity, immune system, so to speak, should we have so that we're not being fooled by these very, very charming, perhaps, algorithms that can come up with sentences that will maybe even have us fall in love with them because it'll say all the things that we have cried our eyes out telling it that we want from a potential partner, for instance. So um, we're about to be hacked, and the best vaccine against that is probably Bildung. That was some of the reasons for choosing this topic, and that is why we've invited some guests to expand the topic with their perspectives on it. So those are some of the thoughts behind choosing this topic.